What's up, guys? Ryan from IW Nerd here. Today I'm going to give you my Survivor Series 2025 predictions. We're about a few months out here still, but I wanted to take an early stab at what I think the match card is going to look like at the event. So let's get into it. Okay, so up first for Survivor Series, I'm going to predict that we're going to get Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. This comes after Brock Lesnar returned at SummerSlam and attacked Cena after his match against Cody Rhodes. We have learned that Cena is facing Logan Paul at the Clash in Paris event, so Cena versus Lesnar will not be happening there. So that really leaves the Crown Jewel pay-per-view in Saudi Arabia in October, I believe it is, and then that leaves Survivor Series as the kind of potential destinations for Lesnar versus Cena. I'm going to go with Lesnar versus Cena happening at Survivor Series. It is the bigger pay-per-view, and I could see WWE saving a match of that size for a pay-per-view like that. So that's my initial gut reaction. So I think it's going to be Lesnar versus Cena here. And I think it's going to be a really good match. We know that they have good chemistry from their past matches, so would be looking forward to it. But I would say that the only other option here is if Cena and Lesnar are both in the men's elimination chamber, the men's WarGames match. That is an option based on the storyline, but I think a singles match is more likely. So Cena versus Lesnar at this event is my first prediction. Okay, so up next here we have the women's WarGames match. I'm going to predict that it's going to be Io Sky, Asuka, Kairi Sane, Rhea Ripley, and Stephanie Vacker versus Naomi, Becky Lynch, Roxanne Perez, Raquel Rodriguez, and Bayley. I'm just looking at the Raw women's division and it's stacked with talent, so I think that they are going to be the main focal points here of this WarGames match. I think that would make sense. And they're kind of with their all kind of storylines intertwining. So I think that would be a really solid match. I feel confident about all the women that I've included there, but I think that the only change could be maybe Lyra Valkyria in there and maybe a removal of like a Kairi Sane or something like that. But I think that Io Sky, Asuka, Kairi Sane, Rhea Ripley, and Stephanie Vacker versus Naomi, Becky Lynch, Roxanne Perez, Raquel Rodriguez, and Bayley would be a really solid match. And I think if you notice, I have Bayley on the heel side here, on the heel team, because I do think that WWE is going to be turning Bayley heel before this event. It feels like they're kind of hinting towards that, and I think they're going to do kind of a full-blown heel turn from Bayley. If you've been listening to me for a while now, I've been predicting this for a bit, and I think they're going to finally kind of pull the trigger. So, yeah, that's my prediction for the women's WarGames match, and I think that would be really good. Okay, so up next, I'm going to predict that we're going to see Rey Mysterio versus Chad Gable at this event. I say that because Rey Mysterio is from San Diego, which is where this Survivor Series pay-per-view is taking place, so I think it makes sense to feature Rey on this card. Obviously, he needs to be fully recovered from his injury that he suffered, but based on the timeline, I think he should be ready to go by this point, so I'm going to have him on the card, and I think a match against Chad Gable would make a ton of sense here. They were supposed to face off at WrestleMania 41, but that was called off due to the injury, so now they can do the match here, whether it's Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano, or if it's just Rey Mysterio versus Chad Gable, whatever they want to do. I think that is kind of what they're going to do here, and I think that would make a lot of sense. So that is my prediction. I guess the only other option would be Rey Mysterio versus like a Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. I feel like they could do like a Rey challenges for the title one last time type of thing, but that's not what I'm feeling right now. I think it's more likely Rey Mysterio versus Chad Gable. So yeah, that's my pick. Okay, so my prediction for the main event is going to be the men's WarGames match. I have a main framework that I think it's going to be, so I'm going to take my best stab at it. So I think it's going to be 100% The Vision, which is Seth Rollins' faction with Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. So I definitely think those three guys are going to be taking part in this match, and I think they're going to have two other members. Right now I have Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul as those two members. They could also do kind of two new team members to Seth Rollins' faction if they want to go that route, if they introduce a couple members over the next few months. But Right now, I don't think that's going to happen, so I think it's going to be the Vision, which is Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Drew McIntyre, and Logan Paul, versus Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Jey Uso, LA Knight, and Cody Rhodes. I think that's kind of the direction I'm feeling. Again, Cody could be defending the title at this event, but I think they could also kind of put him in the mix here, especially with him now feuding with Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. I think that makes sense. I think that Roman Reigns and CM Punk makes sense to be on kind of the other side of Seth Rollins and his faction. I think same goes for LA Knight, who's feuding with Rollins. Jey Uso is just kind of an added throw-in to this match. He's somebody that is obviously boys with kind of everyone involved, so that makes sense. So yeah, that would be Seth, Braun, Bronson, Drew, Logan versus Roman, CM Punk, Jey Uso, LA Knight, and Cody. So yeah, I think that could be a really solid match. As I said before, the other option would be maybe Brock Lesnar and John Cena join this match. So John Cena would join up with Roman, Punk, Jay, and probably Cody Rhodes, replacing kind of LA Knight, or Jey Uso, I guess, would be the odd man out. And then Brock would kind of join Seth's faction with Paul Heyman. That could be awesome, but I have more of a feeling that they're going to keep kind of Brock versus Cena separate, so I'm not going to predict that, but that could be a really awesome kind of follow-up. But yeah, so basically I have Seth's faction with 2 extra members versus Roman, CM Punk, and kind of a random other crew of guys is my pick. So those are my early predictions for Survivor Series. Would love to hear yours in the comment section below. Let me know what you think WWE is going to do, and please subscribe to this channel. Thanks a lot.